revenge will be mine.
This ride should be illegal. Let me explain. Phantom's Revenge is a world-class roller coaster with some of the most intense airtime in the world, along with some extremely minimal restraints. So, should it actually be illegal? Heck no. I need to ride this more, and I think you should too. Here's why. When I went to Kennywood last month, Phantom's Revenge was easily my most anticipated coaster of the visit, as its reputation is highly regarded for being a smooth, yet ejector airtime-filled machine. But I wasn't expecting it to rise above roller coasters like Mystic Timbers, Maverick, or even Orion. Spoiler alert, it did. You familiar viewers probably know the drill by now, but let's go over the quick stats of the ride. For those of you who are new here, please consider subscribing, as it would greatly help the channel out. Anyways, Phantom's Revenge is located at Kennywood and originally opened in 1991 as an aero looper called Steel Phantom. It was then completely remodeled by Morgan, where they replaced all of the inversions with airtime hills. This took place in 2000. Its first drop is 160 feet tall, but the second drop of the ride is 228 feet, making it a hypercoaster. Its top speed is 85 miles per hour and it has a track length of 3,200 feet. It has a final ride duration of 1 minute and 57 seconds. Before we get into my personal thoughts on the ride, like always, we have to do a layout breakdown. Keep in mind, Phantom's Revenge used to be an aero looper, so the layout has drastically changed since the year 2000. Let's do this. Out of the station, you take a small dip and ascend the very long lift hill. It takes an entire minute, but then you dive down the curved drop, which feels like Mystic Timbers drop if it were steel, which personally I think is a great thing. At this point, you think you would be getting jackhammered and or getting your head bashed against the restraints. Thankfully for us enthusiasts, the ride is glass smooth the entire way through, and the trains were also replaced during the remodel, giving us pool noodles as restraints. Well, not really, but they're pretty dang unrestrictive. You then hit a short section of straight track that really gives you a good sense of speed. When I got my front row ride on this, my eyes started watering. You then float into the second drop of the ride and get thrown to the side with punchy laterals. And then, especially in the back, it hits you. The first airtime moment of the ride. You get a great head chopper with Thunderbolt traveling over you at the valley of the drop, while the entire time you are being ejected out of your seat. You rise into a helix that provides some of the most insane positives of the ride. Then you bang to the right, traveling under Thunderbolt once again and get ejected into a turnaround surrounding the turtle. That was the first half of the ride, and if you thought that was insane, you better prepare, as you fall down a brief airtime moment, giving you magnum level ejector airtime. Oh yeah, the entire ending gives magnum level ejector airtime. You go into another insane bunny hill. You turn into a double down, which the trims didn't even hit for me. So when you think it's over, it's not. That double down feels like a car crash, and it is the second best double down I've experienced, only behind Jackrabbit at the same park. You go into another helix and rise into the two final airtime moments, which is where the ride photo is located. So I thought it would be funny to close my eyes and act asleep on one of my rides. This was a big mistake, as it felt like a car crash yet again, and immediately after I had to open my eyes. And that's the entire ride. So yeah, you can probably already tell that I am in love with this ride. But now let's talk about my personal opinions on this crazy roller coaster. Easily, this is one of my all-time favorite coasters that I've been on. I wouldn't blame anyone if it's their #1 coaster overall. It is a glass smooth ride, if not the smoothest roller coaster I've been on. Fast operations, and some of the most violent ejector airtime out there. If Skyrush and Wildcats Revenge weren't existent, this would easily be my favorite roller coaster in Pennsylvania. But that doesn't mean that this ride is bad. If Morgan would have done more of these conversions of old aero coasters, I would have been so happy. But sadly, this is the only one. Is it worth going to Kennywood just for this? Yes. Is it a coaster that every single enthusiast should experience? Absolutely. Does it make my top 10? You bet. This ride falls at number 6 in my coaster rankings. So I would give this ride a 9.5 out of 10. It's not the longest roller coaster in the world, but for what it is, holy crap, it's incredible. Thank you all so much for watching. What are your thoughts on the ride? Comment down below. I will see you in the next video.